Hello YouTube and welcome to episode 2 of Retro Game Hunt Memories, and this episode is a big one. Why? Because it's probably, I'm going to give you my worst miss, and potentially probably the worst miss in retro game collector history, if that's the thing, and probably one of the best. So we're going to start on a low note and we're going to end on a very high note. And I'll just say this video is probably going to be 2 parts because, as you can see, the stacks of games I have, which I'm going to show real quick, but just to explain it properly, I'm going to do this video in 2 parts. So let's just start on. So, okay, this is the story, right? Before I get into all this Nintendo 64 stuff, this ain't all of it. Well, I'll get to that to the end of the video. Okay. So one day, this is going to haunt me forever, and this is probably, you literally, if you're watching this video, you're a game collector, you're saying to yourself, when you hear the story, you're going to say, he just made this up, it's complete bullshit, maybe he's trying to get, I don't know, views or anything like that, but, you know, my channel's relatively small at the moment, and this is not bullshit. I don't make stuff like this up, I do this as a hobby, and I'm going to give it to you straight. Just call me the biggest dickhead in the world if you want, I'm okay with that. This is definitely one of the worst misses ever. Okay, so alright. I was in a boot fair again, probably about 12 years old this time. Walked up to this stall. I saw this, you know, huge console with about 12 games. The cases, there was all boxed. The games were all boxed, about 12. And this is due to my ignorance. And I deserve this. I feel the pain every day of this miss. I don't know why I did not buy it. What was this console? I'll tell you what it was. It was a Neo Geo. A Neo Geo with 12 boxed games. From memory, there must have been, it was either a baseball or basketball game. And I think definitely Vietnam 1975 or 72, I forget the name. I think that was in there. That's all I remember. There was about 12 of them, all stacked. The console and the joystick. She wanted 20 euros for it. Looked at my dad, because 20 euros for a kid, maybe about 12 years old, that was a lot of money. I didn't have a job, so you know that I ain't got money like that. So I looked at my dad. My dad was like, "Oh, it's up to you. If you want it, we can get it. But if it doesn't work, don't cry about it." That's what he said, because you know he knows it's old. I looked at him. I saw the cable of the Neo Geo. I pulled the cable. It looked a bit like, you know, chewed off or something. I don't know. It looked like, to my memory, an RF cable or something. Maybe it was the AC adapter cable. I'm not sure. But I just looked at it and that kind of put me off, and I walked away. Week or 2 weeks later, went to a different boot fair, because yeah, when it's summer, spring times, we like to go to boot fairs a lot. Back then, certainly. Saw the same stall, and they was asking 15 for it. They dropped the price. They recognised me. I don't know why I asked again. I think I went up to it, and she told me it's 15. And I just left it. I left it. I don't know why. I don't know if you believe in this. I think it wasn't meant to be or something, you know. Maybe it's just, because if you don't know, the Neo Geo is probably one of the most expensive systems to collect for, next to collecting for the Sharp PC console. I don't know. Very, 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 very expensive stuff we're talking about. Maybe the whole set is probably worth maybe about, I don't know, about 700-800, maybe even more. I mean, 12 box games. I can't remember by memory what games they were, but Neo Geo games range between 50 to 250 a piece. Even I've seen people selling them for like 800-900, and those are really rare ones, obviously. These were probably like common, but I'm telling you, common Neo Geo games go for a lot of money. If you want to call them common, at least. Yeah, so that was probably the worst miss in video game history, definitely. If you can top that, well, you know, I feel your pain, man. Feel, bro. Okay, so Let's move on to one of the best parts, and you know, I think I might show a section of it in this video, even though it's going to be 2 parts. This is going back maybe about 3-4 years ago. This is when I got all this stuff. It was an internet site, a bit like a Craigslist or like Gumtree, but it's more for the ones locally. And this woman, was trying to get rid of a bunch of game stuff, and I won't name the last item because not all of it's here. You'll have to see the second video for that one. Okay, so all the game stuff, well, all this here, 2 N64s, and all these games. I'll reveal the price with the other item, which I'm not going to name only until the second video. I gave her an offer because she wanted offers. I said 20. She rings me back. She says, "Oh, I think that's a little bit low because I got a lot of stuff. Could you go to 30? Okay, I said 30. That's a deal. Go to her place and I see all this stuff. And there's another item, which I won't. It's another system. I'll say that. And there's another game which I won't show in this video, but you'll have to see in the second part. So there was 2 N64s, the black ones. I think this one here, it was a bit grubby. It had like a old sticker that all was faded off. I just got, you know, a bit of water and a sponge, and I just cleaned it off and it came up quite nicely. Then there was this Nintendo 64. I'm guessing she had maybe about, like 2 kids and 2 brothers or something, and they just both shared the console or something. I don't know. And I got all these bunch of games with it, and I was just so, couldn't believe the deal I did. Let's just get to the games. There was I think 3 controllers she gave me. She gave me a grey one, I think, and 2 black ones, which you can see the person who owned this really played with it. I mean, look at that, it's a bit loose. The other one's even worse. It's got all white, like plastic when it rips off, residue or whatever, all around it. You can see it's really been used, this controller, which I like. It means that these consoles didn't just, there wasn't people just bought them, played with them for like 30 seconds, like, you know, once a week or something. No, they played with them. You can tell they had a lot of fun with them, as you can see with their collection. So here's the 2 N64s. She was a British lady, so they had British power packs, but which is not a problem because I have a jungle green French N64. I just swapped them over, which is not a big deal anyway. So I'll just put the 2 N64s on the side, and I'll get to the games. Okay, let's start here. Lylat Wars. I'm sorry, because this one is one I actually play, because I played most of them, but not all of them. Lylat Wars. I was going to say 64, but no. F-Zero X, pretty fun game. And this is probably one of the first ones I saw, and I was so happy, as I'm a huge Castlevania fan. And I know this one was not meant. I didn't have high expectations when I first played it, but actually it proved me wrong. I thought it was a very solid game, and I've quite enjoyed it. For the time, the graphics must have been amazing. Knockout Kings 2000. GoldenEye 007. Oh yeah, I might say that some of the games were doubles. I did get, like, for example, as you're going to see here, 2, even sometimes 3 GoldenEyes, and there was definitely 2 or 3 Mario 64s. So I don't know what that's about. Smash Bros. Again, another copy of. Actually, this copy might be from my Jungle Green 64 because I did have this separate. Pokemon Stadium, Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, the gold one, nice game, but you do need the game pack, which I haven't just gone into yet. Mickey Speedway USA by Rare, Yoshi Story, Jet Force, I'm sorry I cannot read the Gemini maybe? I don't know, Jet Force Gemini, another Rare game. I don't know, I think I ain't tried that one. I have to try that one, actually. Any Rare game I'll have to get. Let's move on to the other stack. Oh, I hope that doesn't fall. Oh, Mario Kart 64, probably my favourite Nintendo 64 game. Star Wars Shadow of the Empire. A very, Star Wars fans really appreciate this game, I believe. It's a really solid. It's probably one of the best Star Wars games. Again, a Mario Kart 64 double. Super Mario 64. I love. You know, I've got something for the artwork of this. It's like, it's nice to look at. It's like a simpler time when like 3D games were the new thing. I can just imagine like a kid picking this up and is just amazed at the time, like by the graphics and all that. It's something that graphics don't mean anything, but I mean the 3D to 2D must have been something huge. Pokemon Snap, Snowboard Kids, Atlas. I think Atlas. Did they make RPG games? I think they do quite a few. Or I could be getting mixed up with NIS America. Killer Instinct Gold. Again, Pokemon Stadium. Oh, Pokemon Stadium 2. So that's good to have. What's this one? Oh, Extreme XG2. I'm not too familiar with that one. Oh, it looks like yeah. I don't know. Again, Pokemon Snap. I think that could be the one for my Jungle Green 64 though, because I did get that in a bundle. International Superstar Soccer 98. This is from Konami. This is before they did Pro Evo. International Superstar was one of the best, I think, when it first came out. Wave 64. I have to get the GameCube one because they made one for GameCube. That's meant to be really good. Super Smash Bros. Yet again. Banjo and Tooie. And now we get to the last stacks. Super Mario 64 again. Duke Nukem 64. Yeah, I like that one. What disappointed me most about this one, okay, it was toned down a little bit, even though it has bloody BBFC 18 on there. No, it was toned down a little bit, I think with like the strip clubs and all that, okay. But they took out, or maybe they did a remix version of the theme Stalker, which is one of my favourite themes in the Duke Nukem games. So I had to get the PS1 version, because I have the PC big box version, but my PC doesn't play it, so whatever. But that's all fixed now because they released it on PS3, and I think I have that version. Perfect Dark. That's meant to be one of the best FPSs on the N64 next to GoldenEye. I have the reboot or the sequel, whatever it is, on Xbox 360. They should really do another one of that game because I think that was good. Revolt. Star Wars Rogue Squadron. I think this was another good Star Wars game, sorry. F-Zero X. Superstar Soccer 64. I think I showed you the later one. This is probably the first one on N64. Banjo and Kazooie. Another classic by Rare. Battle Tanks Global Assault. Yeah, I read that. It says 3DO. Must have been a 3DO game. I don't know. I ain't googled this. But why does it say 3DO? It's strange. Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. As you may have noticed, these are all the big titles. I mean, we've pretty much gone through one of the biggest main titles of the N64, like what any game collector wants to own. Mario Kart 64, Diddy Kong Racing, 1080-degree snowboarding. Yeah, I said that right. Donkey Kong 64, Pilot Wing 64. Actually, I forgot I owned that. But whatever, it's good to own. Okay, so I got all these games, 2 consoles, another console, and another bunch of games, and I'm missing one N64 game, which I will show in part 2. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Tune in to part 2. See you next time.